Hi, it's Sandy Freshie here on a Sunday afternoon. I'm actually at the site of my new office, and maybe I can give you a little bit of a tour. This is the wall where I will be once it's painted. I wanted to come out here and see what they had done this week, and all of the priming is done. The ceilings have been painted. We've got some issues with water because it's been raining a lot, and our construction is a little bit stalled. But I thought it would be fun to come and broadcast from my office. So let me just take you around the whole panoramic view. That's going to be my outside entrance. Have two windows, and then there's an inside entrance. And I'm going to try to come back to my face without making you dizzy. So close your eyes if you're getting dizzy. Okay. I just want to do a quick video because my dog is outside and I know it's really echoey in here, but I had some thoughts about the question of, and sometimes people come to me with this expectation. So this is why I want to talk about this topic of, does human design make your life perfect? And if you're in the beginning of your experience with human design, with your experiment, if you've come to this place, like many of us have, where human design kind of gets you, or it embraces you and it has you until you get yourself, basically, and beyond for some of us. There may be this expectation starting out that all of the things in your life that are messed up or not working the way that you want them to will somehow disappear when you begin to follow your strategy and authority, and when you really know yourself well through the lens of human design. And I just want to tell you, because I talk about this too, one of the things that happens when you begin to follow your strategy and authority is that life does seem to have a better flow to it. But does that mean that your life gets perfect? Does that mean that all of this stuff, all of the trauma or the mishaps or the karma, for lack of a better word, that you've accumulated in the past through past actions and past decisions, does that all get cleared up? No, it doesn't. And it will get better. You will get more resilient at handling things, and you will get more insight into what specifically you need to heal along the way, and what specifically needs to be changed so that you can live this higher aspect of what your original blueprint set out for you. And that's what the human design chart is. It's an imprint, or it's a blueprint of your original imprints, the original things that when you were born, when you were forming in the womb, came together to make you who you are, with your specific set of strengths and the way that you are equipped to deal with the world, or in relationships with yourself, with your life, with dance with the universe, however you want to look at that. That's what your body graph is all about. Now, when you get to know your body graph, when you get to know and settle into and understand how your strategy and authority works, then of course you're going to have more insight, you're going to have more wisdom about boundaries, about what you can do differently in the future or in the moment as opportunities and situations arise. But we're human. All of us are human. We all have to do our own work. Just knowing the chart, knowing your chart doesn't do it. Once you know certain things about yourself, once you understand the highest aspects of potential for yourself, you still have to do the inner work. to get there. You still have to do the healing and releasing and the making different decisions and choices step by step by step. So it's kind of like, especially with those of us who maybe came to human design not in our teens or 20s or even 30s, you know, those of us who came to human design because we had lived quite a few decades of life and things weren't really working, and this opportunity was orchestrated for us to meet with our body graph. You know, there are decisions in the past. I know for me in my life, there have been decisions that I've made in the past that I would not have made if I had known about my chart. And I'm sure if you're in that midlife place, and especially if you're new to human design and you're going, oh my gosh, I've really screwed up my life, just take a deep breath and relax. Because even though, from my experience, I would not have made certain choices and certain decisions, in each moment moving forward, knowing and allowing the perception of my greatness, so to speak, and I don't mean that in an ego way, but allowing myself to really embrace the power that I have inside as who I've been created to be, colors my choices as I move forward. And who's to say on a soul level that all of those other choices that may not have been most beneficial for me to make at that time did not necessarily put me on my highest trajectory at that time? Who's to say that that wasn't part of what I needed to work through, given the framework that I work from, that, you know, maybe I've had past life things go on, maybe I had karma to resolve, whatever it was. Who's to say that wasn't part of that path? And who's to say that that has to hold me back or hold you back? You know, talking to those of you who may feel like, well, maybe if I get this human design thing down, my life will finally line up and all of those things and all of the stuff that isn't really working will begin to work. Yes, it will. Decision by decision by decision, alignment by alignment by alignment. But there's still the repercussions of, or the consequences of what has happened in the past. And what has happened in the past doesn't necessarily, you don't necessarily have to carry that into the future, because you can make better decisions as you move forward. One of the choices that I made early in my life was, because I was pretty much overwhelmed looking back. I was in the midst of some really challenging, heartbreaking relationship things. And I was also going to graduate school. And one of the choices I made was to drop out of graduate school. What I realized looking back, knowing that I'm a projector, knowing that education is everything, you know, that harnessing, getting to the highest level of my own education would have actually put me in a place where I would have met people, where doors would have probably opened that were not available to me in the decades following. But in this point in my life right now, I don't need that education, or I'm not in that place where I necessarily need those connections, because those connections would have taken me down a different path where I would have had to make different choices when I discovered my body graph, when I got burned out from whatever it would have been that I would have been doing then. And essentially, I probably would have ended up where I am now. Maybe not with the same people, maybe not in the same geographical location, but inside I would have still ended up where I am now. And is life perfect now? No, of course not, because I'm still working on things. And hopefully until the day I die. I will still be working on things within myself to elevate, to align, to realign, to connect to my higher self, and to live that within my physical being, to live that within within what's on my chart, what's on my body graph, and to live the highest aspects and to evolve and grow and heal and release and all of those things that must happen with the inner work, so that I do live more from the higher expressions, or the more evolved expressions of who I am innately, what my original blueprint kind of laid out for my physical human existence. So where am I going with this in terms of, does life ever get perfect with human design? Is life ever perfect? If life were perfection, if you were living in perfection, would you really want to live here? Maybe, maybe not. But the fun of life is really in, for me at least, with correction in my chart and all of that, it's really about troubleshooting and finding the things that need to be corrected, the things that aren't quite perfect, that can be brought into a better alignment with so-called perfection. But there's never really going to be an end to it, because there's always going to be a little bit of imperfection in our human experience. And that's what makes the game fun. That's what makes the living of life colorful, exciting, fulfilling, when you do get to that place where you can make a little step and there is more alignment, there is more perfection, and then something else opens up where you make another step into alignment and perfection. And if we had perfection all the time, we would never have that opportunity. So if you're just starting out on your human design journey, I just wanted to just muse about this for a little while, to encourage you to really look at what your intentions are for really aligning with your blueprint. And if your intentions are to finally live in a place where your life is perfect, where it's easy all the time, where all you have to do is just switch the mind off and follow your strategy and authority, and that's going to take care of it for you, you're sort of abdicating your responsibility to yourself. You're ultimately abdicating the power that you were endowed with when you were born. So just giving you that as a Sunday afternoon something to ponder. I think that's it for now, and I hope this echo isn't too bad in here. I'm really, really looking forward to the times when I can sit outside and do videos for you guys, and I do my best thinking when I'm not sitting at my desk, and I've been doing a lot of videos where it's scripted, and I know what I'm going to say, and I know it's around a topic, but I'm really looking forward to the times when we can just kind of kick back. Maybe I'll put the live stream on, and we can have some more relaxed conversations about design, life, the life you live as who you are in your design, and and I'm looking forward to actually taking you on some tours of what we're creating here, because it's really fun, and I know some of you find it very inspiring. So until the next time, be well, be gentle with yourself, know that the perfection of life is really in its imperfection, and that's the fun of it. Take care.